I'm out. I'm done with YouTube. I'm done with the WrestleSense podcast. I'm done with it all. I'm done with Doc and Ray and CJ. I'm out of here. Psych! Hey, everybody, what's happening? We are live for another WrestleSense podcast. And, yeah, we got a lot to talk about. It's going to be fun. We're ramping up for the end of the summer. You know, it always happens. Summer is the time for wrestling. They always step it up. So we're getting ready for some big shows. And we got some people in the chat I need to recognize, of course. Wally. Good to see you. Hey, I only got a couple more days to be 49 until I'm 50. So I'm getting my cane ready, and I'm getting ready to be an old man here in a few days. Monstar knows all about it. He's like 75 years old already. So big shout out to him. Crushing Kelly, thank you so much. I appreciate that. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you all the moderators and everybody helping out the chat as well. William Kenna's here every week. You got to love that. Greg, we're leaving. We're done, Greg. I'm so sorry. We are done. We're out of here. We're out of WrestleSense is what we're out of. We're out of our fucking minds is what we're out of. I'm out of monetization because I felt like cussing. What's up, Hot Wheels in the building? Good to see you. Yes, keep those thumbs up coming here. And Nightbot will also drop the link. Make sure you guys go check out the Hardcore Sports Network as well. We're live over there also. And I appreciate each and everybody stopping in. Go over to Hardcore Sports Network. Check out the show there as well. Hit the thumbs up. We're looking for watch time over there as well. Trying to grow these two channels, and appreciate all the support you guys have given. Marley Good is in the building. The Burnout is here. Good to see you, my friend. Lady Devil in the house. Big shout out to you as well. We got Andy Price. Yes. Yeah. We'll touch base on the G1 Climax for you, my friend. Yes, I'm on my back porch saying, get off my lawn. Fuck Fuji. Stompy is in the house. NAW, my friend. Great to see you. Big shout out to you, my friend. We got Johnny Boston in the building. Welcome in. Hit those thumbs up if you're digging what's going down. If you like professional wrestling. This is WrestleSense. Everyone has their WrestleSense. You're allowed your own opinion. Cheer who you want to cheer. Boo who you want to boo. Like who you want to like. Hate who you want to like. We don't care. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. Not like other places that tell you what to think and what should be and what shouldn't be. We're just a bunch of dudes talking about wrestling. You know what I'm saying? And we appreciate each and every one of you along for the ride. Speaking of people always along for the ride, and I appreciate them. My man Doc is in the house.
What's up? What's going on? Sort of an interesting week in wrestling. Kind of.
Docomania is running wild, right?
Hey, Hulk Hogan is 70 years old. I wanted to wear this for this guy. You know, I mean, regardless of what you think of Hulk Hogan, I could care less. Yeah. The simple fact is the character Hulk Hogan, not Terry Bollea, the character Hulk Hogan when I was a child, you know, one of my biggest influences. So
a lot of people hate on Hogan. A lot of people hate on Vince McMahon.
Up, Kelly.
Truth be told, if we didn't have Vince McMahon and Hulk Hogan, I don't know where wrestling would be right now. I mean, it set the precedent years and years ago when the first WrestleMania and all that happened. So, love it.
Monstar, what's going on?
Nah, I'd rather go to AEW, John Breakdown, but I appreciate that.
Jeez. I just want to go somewhere.
Yeah, this is the guy that's been broadcasting and commentating for years. I'm just a fucking YouTuber.
And there's William Kenna. Bought my shirt.
Burn it. Yep.
He hates Hulk Hogan. That's fine. I get it.
You're allowed to. You're allowed to hate him. You're allowed to hate anyone you want.
Yeah. I mean, what I'm hearing, what Jesse Ventura just admitted a little while ago, not a little while ago, but probably about a year ago, maybe. I think he had a news thing, and he said Hogan's what stopped I think it was the union for wrestlers or something. Like Hogan was the one that kind of and that kind of hurt me a little bit. I'm not going to
Doc, as someone who's in the business, dealing, commentating for 3 or 4 companies, thinking of it in the big spectrum, do you think a union for the boys and girls that wrestle would be good or not?
I think it'd be cool. I think it'd be pretty awesome. You know what I mean? A lot of people wouldn't go out hurt. You know what I mean? Get released. Speaking of getting released, My heart was broken this week, but we'll get into that in a little bit.
I got a couple of them. We'll get to one of those.
I'll just go ahead and wait for the slides and then start speaking. I didn't do that before, and we always screw it up. I'm not saying anything until I see a fucking slide.
We've come a long way here on this podcast.
There goes our monetization, right?
We've come
there goes our 50%. There goes our 50 cents.
Ray's the one that's always predicting the future. He always brings up something that's on a slide 5 or he's like in
Nostradamus.
So we're probably going to have Ray stop by. CJ's on the shelf tonight. We wish him the best in his recovery and everything too. But tonight, let's make some sense of, I don't know if we can, but let's try to make some sense of wrestling from the side from this week. All right. I need to share this link here. I want you guys. I don't know if I don't have Nightbot set up over here, so we need to. I want to share this link for you guys if you can. I would really appreciate it if you have a second. Hop right over to this link, which we are live on the WrestleSense podcast, YouTube, and we're live on the Hardcore Sports Network. So if you can hop over there, give it a like. If you like it here, whatever, I figured I'd share it and see what happens. Let's get down to it, right to it. The first slide on Friday night.
Oh, no.
We got this. And if you out there believe this bullshit, I had a bridge to sell you. They had a nice kick out of it. I was like, really? I mean, I understand it's a story. I understand it's a twist a lot of people didn't expect. But you guys in the chat, did you really believe that Jey Uso's going to leave WWE? Doc, what was your thoughts when you saw this go down at the end Friday night?
I mean, I in the words of the great CJ Sensation, it's a work. Number two, I thought of some of the fun things that people think about, like the fancy booking out there, which fancy booking happens 24/7 when it comes to the wrestling business. However, when I saw it, I was like, what could they do here? What advantage could WWE and other companies do with this? Why not? I'll say it. What would be a great idea for this right now? He's still under contract with WWE, but companies share talent all the time. I say he walks into Wembley.
Don't be one of those, Doc.
And am I saying it's going to happen? Not at all. Not 110% is Vince going to let any of his cash cows go to the other farm.
Exactly.
However, what I'm saying is, as someone who thinks, man, that would be a fun idea, who everybody on that chat and everybody around even says, hey, let's fancy, what if? What in another world, another dimension, another multiverse? Another multiverse could this happen? And what I'm trying to say to you is, what if?
I get it. I get
what if.
And here, let me clear the air first before anyone calls me a hater or anything like this. I've supported and pushed that the Bloodline storyline is the best storyline in wrestling in a long time. I've said that nonstop.
I still think it is, though. I still think it is.
I slightly think MJF and Adam Cole at this point is more entertaining to me. Here's what I'm afraid of, and we'll get into why I'm afraid of it right now. I'm entertained more because I'm afraid of this. Okay. First of all, we heard Rikishi put out that he was going to be a referee at Payback. Will they push for Jay and Jimmy at Payback? No, they're waiting till Mania, it looks like.
Yeah.
Which is months. So taking Jay off of TV for a while and bringing him back, no big deal. I don't mind that. It's a little bit different. Here we're not going to have this. If it's going to happen, it's going to be 7 months from now at Mania, and that's a long time. I know this. I know who was it, Heyman or someone who said we're in the third inning of the Bloodline. So no problem with that. Here's the problem that I have with it.
Okay.
When you get to the fact that people are doing this, whether it's tongue in cheek or not, realistically, it's funny to me. It's not happening. He's not going over there. But yes, Doc, I agree with you. It would be a shocker if they would let one person go over to All In. This would be the
all
one
it needs. All this needs right here is for the Forbidden Door just to get swinging. And that's what everybody wants, is a forbidden door to start swinging, especially when it comes to the two powerhouses, WWE and AEW.
Yes.
This is what people want to see. However, am I delusional? Do I think it's going to happen? Fuck no. Do I believe that?
As long as Vince's heart's beating, it ain't happening.
Yeah, as long as Vince's heart's beating, and he is like, he knows what the hell he's doing, or not really. He never knew what the hell he's doing. That was for you, Bret Hart. But what I'm saying to you is, I just I don't know. Like Vince is not gonna budge on this. No, he's not. But I just feel that, like, with the fancy people out there saying all that would be great. See, this is what I was praying for. This would be amazing if he came in and said, I don't have an opponent, and here he come walking in and was like, yo, dog, I ain't going nothing. Yes.
We'll get to the all-in discussion
later. It would
later.
be a fun match.
I probably should have had this slide first, but this is where I was getting at. This right here. So get ready, people. For the next 7 months, you're going to get Jimmy, Jay, Jimmy, Roman, Solo, Roman, all four, a three-way, a tag match. I don't want just these guys fighting each other for 8.
But there are more people out there, though. I mean, they can utilize more family members. They just have to get signed.
If what I'm saying is, if this is what we get, then I'm disappointed. If we don't bring any other members of the bloodline, if we don't see Roman fight other people, or see Jimmy or Jay or even Solo fight someone, if all we get is the bloodline fighting each other for 8 months, will you like that?
Buddy.
Do you know what I'm talking about? That's what would bore me.
Okay. Hold on. There is somebody that agrees with you, I think. All right, just real quick. Hey, real quick. Tell the viewers. Bodie here, starting JV defensive end, or lineman, whatever. What I'm saying to you is this: what's a better storyline right now in wrestling, the Bloodline storyline, or MJF and Adam Cole?
Bloodline.
Oh, wow, never mind. I thought he was going to agree with you.
Thanks a lot, Doc.
I really thought Bodie was going to say MJF and Adam Cole, because he was laughing hysterically yesterday as I was watching the thing. Everybody says hi. So what I'm trying to say is this. It's the simple fact is, the MJF and Adam Cole is more of a comedic way to get things over, and I love it. Don't get me wrong. I love what they're doing. It makes me laugh. It makes everybody laugh. However, the Bloodline is bringing drama. It is bringing those roots. Everything that you can imagine is happening, and it's just funny to watch something that was a well-oiled unit in disruption. We've seen it with DX. We sure as hell saw it with the NWO. We saw it also with the Horsemen at one point, where Ole got pissed off and was like, fuck you guys.
As a whole, the Bloodline story's better. I'm just saying right now.
Monster, he did pull the swerve on me. Jesus. Yeah. I thought he really was going to say MJ. I thought there's going to be 2 on Blaze's heel. No, there's only 1.
And a lot of people are twisting what I'm saying. 50. As a whole, the Bloodline story is way better because it's been going on longer. So much has happened. But I'm saying, as of today, right now, I'm more entertained because I'm afraid that's all we're going to get is these guys fighting each other. And the end game, what's the end game? All 4 of them get back together. Blood is thicker than water. They're getting back together.
I don't know. Because the thing is, what if this right here is to establish each one? All of them could main event, I think, at this point.
Well, then let me throw this at you.
Let
me throw this at you, Doc.
Right,
I watched the podcast earlier today, and they said, number 1, Cody should not beat Roman at Mania because whoever beats Roman will be pushed into this superstardom. Cody's already a superstar. So here's what I want. Do you think it's better for Roman to lose to Cody, or would it be better to Roman to lose to one of his Bloodline family members?
Cody.
That's my point.
To be finished. That's my point. Has to be finished.
That's all my point is. I love the Bloodline storyline. Don't get me wrong, folks.
I think it's going to be to the point where Roman has nobody going into WrestleMania, and I feel that he goes into WrestleMania against Cody Rhodes. Obviously, we have the Rock talks.
Who said he'd be a chief without a tribe? Who said that? Someone said he'll be a chief without a tribe. He said, someday you'll be a chief without a tribe. Is that like Sammy or somebody?
I think it was Sammy.
Kevin or someone.
One of them too, yeah.
Do you think The Rock gets involved? You brought it up. Do you think The Rock gets involved?
Eventually. I don't think they're going to do it in Philly. I really don't. I feel like Philly's not the smaller market. It's just a smaller market, which the price tickets are fucking amazing, people, if you haven't bought them yet. But like I said, I'm crying myself to sleep tonight because I really want to go. I still want to go. I've never been to a WrestleMania. It is my dream to be at a WrestleMania.
Me too.
One day I'm going to make it happen. If it's not in Philly, then it'll be in Arizona. If it's not in Arizona, it'll be in Akron, Ohio. I don't know. What I'm saying is, the simple fact is, I see what happens. But what I'm saying is, with everything that's happening right now, you could take this and propel so many stars out of it. The Usos already are huge. The Usos are amazing. Hell, I still have my down since day one flannel that I got for free for being on WWE TV. Yes, that's a true story. I'll say it one. I'll tell
true story.
But for now, the simple fact is, I feel like Roman needs to finish the story of Cody. They are separate right now. Let them live their life. Let them fight who they have to fight. But I'm saying this. Let it happen. Yes, The Rock will show up because the writers are on strike or whatever.
Well, I think that just ended or it's about to end. So let me ask you this, Doc.
Yes.
If The Rock doesn't become a part of this storyline, is that a major disappointment?
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
Because you have so much to watch and stuff. And the thing is, no disrespect, The Rock is going to start being like Cena eventually. He's going to come in and lose, just like John does. I hate to say it. As much as I love The Rock, as much as I would love to see The Rock come in, that last title run of The Rock was fucking ridiculous. All they wanted to do was have the belt shown on carpet walks and stuff. That's all they gave it to him for. That even caused more chap on CM Punk's ass.
True. Did you hear about the reports about Roman after Mania? That he is literally going to be gone. He's Brock Lesnar 2.0. He'll come back for the big shows and that's it. So it seems like the story should end then. I mean, these other guys are stars. I'm not saying Solo and Usos aren't stars. They are. But the same pained look on Jimmy and Jay, and then super kick. It's very similar. It's like, I want something different. I challenged them on Friday. I was like, come on, get me involved in this bloodline again. I want them to turn it up and make it super interesting. Yes, it was a surprise for Jay to pull the walkout thing, but I want more. That's all. I guess I'm a little greedy. I just want more.
You are greedy, but you know what? You're a fun greedy.
But I don't want them to fight each other. I mean, if we get these matches, I won't be mad at it. I just don't want these to be the only matches we get with the bloodline.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be all that. I feel like you're going to have different back and forth, unless some kind of injury happens or something. They have to get the belt off Roman.
Poor Sammy. I really liked him in this story, and he's not in it no more. He even said the other day, I saw a quote from him. He goes, "Hey, I didn't beat Roman. I'm not the guy, and I'm okay with that."
But hell, that was a hell of a match, and that crowd made that fight. Yep. So, give it up.
It kind of sucks that, it seems like his momentum is slow. I know he has that elbow injury and all that too that he's trying to fight, and they're still kind of using him. And I'd love to see Kevin Steen and him in AEW. That's just my preferred. And AJ Styles. I would love to see AJ get some dream matches over there.
That's just roster so damn inflated. It'll
never. I know.
Let that roster fizzle a little bit. get clean out the trash again, and then bring some people in. They're bringing too many people in from Japan. I feel it's just. We'll get into that later. Go ahead.
Yep. I always like this. This is always interesting. These were the producers for the SummerSlam matches. So if you look at Shane Helms produced the opening match with Ricochet and Logan. Michael Hayes. Daivari produced the women's match. Which
okay, go ahead.
Adam Pearce and Petey Williams did the Battle Royal. I'd like to be a fly on the wall when people book a Battle Royal. Because there's so much that goes on about Abyss. I still wish they would have had his character on air a little bit. Because they brought him, didn't they bring him in for like a backstage thing a little bit?
They did, and then he was gone again.
Oh, he's so entertaining in Abyss and outside of Abyss. Jamie Noble. So I give a lot of credit. Like people always say, Vince, if they don't like a match. These are the guys producing the matches. These are the guys that are putting the work in.
TJ Wilson, the thing is, I thought he was gone again. I thought Tyson Kidd, right?
Yeah.
I thought he was gone.
Well, it wasn't him. It was a neck injury that put him on the shelf, right? Was it?
Yeah, it was that. I thought he was done producing too, but I guess
Jamie Noble, Jason Jordan.
They all make it fun.
A lot of credit,
especially when they come out too. You know what I mean? You get to see
Yeah.
I loved Petey Williams in TNA, man. The Canadian Destroyer before everybody does it now, but before it was a very signature move that he did.
He's
And
a little guy doing it too. Not,
he was phenomenal. Little Papa Pump or something.
Yeah, I was just going to say, do you remember when he was with, I have a
Yeah.
TNA, I have a Impact channel on YouTube TV, and it's all old Impact stuff. And I was watching it, and there was an interview where Steiner actually relived the Steiner math promo too. They like rekindled it, and Petey was there in the gear like him too. I forgot how much that I like that. Plus, one of my favorite times in TNA was Angle, AJ, Samoa Joe. That little, all the matches that those three had. But I'm always like seeing who produced the matches. All right, let's talk about this one. I'm going to be a dick. I don't care. I'm not going to miss her.
I am.
She's a great talent.
I just had a thing for her the minute she come out. The Southern Belle gimmick, and then now this one. Just something about her. I don't know what it is.
She's a beautiful woman.
She's just knockout. And I thought she worked fine. I thought she, and the thing is, and I'll say it once, I say it again. I sit behind a table, I call the action. So I can't say, oh, she can't work. Because I hate to say it. When people say that, who the fuck are you to say if anybody could work or not when you haven't been in the goddamn ring?
Amen.
Like, seriously.
Amen.
So, and what I'm saying is I enjoyed her matches. I thought she did well. She presented herself well. She got a speeding ticket and actually went Southern Belle on the cop. Said, "Here, I'm gonna own you."
I'm gonna count on this.
Kenna just, I don't know if he wants to fight in the street or what. Jesus Christ.
The news.
Everything I say. God damn. I thought we were friends. But no, I mean, it's just the fact that, I don't know. Like, I feel that you're going to see her. I don't know if you're going to see her in AEW. You might see her in TNA. You might see her in NWA. The simple fact is, you're going to see her again. You're going to see her again. She's gorgeous, man. I don't know. I think it's more some fact that I thought. I don't know.
Maybe it was. I mean, they tried to.
Gav has a good point. If you put up Gav's comment real quick, Gav has a great point. A lot of people did not connect with her. And I was shocked about that because she had a good gimmick with that Southern Belle thing. The
and then they did
women's
the right thing, and if she would have had like a very vicious finisher or something that really blew people away, maybe
not stole Sergeant Slaughter's.
Yeah. But if you see the tag there, she is opening a diner. That's what she wants to do. And she's already teasing an OnlyFans. People kept saying, she got to be OnlyFans. And she's already teased that too. So her and what's her name? See, I forgot her name from NXT that went OnlyFans. Mandy.
Oh, Mandy Rose. Yeah, Mandy Rose.
She can go show her tits and her vagina and have fun with that for a couple hours. Make some money for all the little kids jerking off to her, I guess. Speaking of little kids jerking off, look, there's Ray in the building.
Oh, wow. Really?
Speaking of little kids jerking off, that's the intro I get.
Well, I just said that Lacey's going to make it. He's going to have her own diner. Everyone's telling her to do OnlyFans. Tell her to go. Her and Mandy can go have fun with little kids jerking off to her for a while. I'm not going to miss her. Doc liked her. He enjoyed her. I don't really give a shit. I don't think it changes anything. Did you care at all, Ray, about
it? Doesn't
Lacey?
Change anything. It's just a missed opportunity. She was a good worker.
He can say that. He's been in the ring.
Yeah.
She wasn't a bad worker, dude. The biggest problem they had was character with her. They switched her heel to face 8 times.
Big Show.
They started the American gimmick thing with her, but when you have Sergeant Slaughter shitting over the fact that she's stealing the gimmick, they either needed to bring Sarge in to manage her or cut the gimmick, and instead they tried to force it, and that made the crowd shit on it because the smart marks who care about the history of the business were like, and then the fact that it was inconsistent, like she'd be on TV for 2 weeks and she'd be off TV for a month. You can't build a brand new gimmick that way. It has to be consistent. So that's the biggest missed opportunity. She's a beautiful girl.
Yeah.
I'm sure she'll make a mint if she does OnlyFans.
Yep.
I was seeing a lot of stuff on there about people saying she shouldn't do it. I mean, she is a legit military vet, a college graduate.
Yep.
She could have a future in politics if she wanted it. A bunch of other shit, but that's neither here nor there. The bottom line is if she wants to be a wrestler, she would thrive in a company like Impact.
Yeah.
Where they put a little more emphasis on women's wrestling.
Yes. 100%.
Well, I'm going to talk about a little bit more women's wrestling here and new gimmicks. We know Becky and Trish were taken off of that pay-per-view, And Triple H even was questioned about it in the scrum, and he said, if you get lemons, you make lemonade. So now Becky has run with that gimmick, and she now has the second best selling T-shirt in WWE. What do you guys think of the lemons and Becky? She even did the Triple H spit with the lemonade when she had the lemonade last week. Yes, no, maybe. No thoughts, don't care. I mean, it's just
I didn't know about this. Like, I'm very ignorant in this subject. I saw the lemon. I was like, I don't get the lemon. What's the lemon thing mean?
Well, that's because they didn't explain it. Triple H said when you get lemons, because they said they were upset. What do you say when that these two are upset they weren't on the card? And he goes, well, they're never supposed to be on the card. And when you get lemons, you make lemonade. So she's running with it.
Well, I mean, if you're Becky, you have to understand. I mean, every Triple H, you have to understand where Becky's coming from. This has been a consistent storyline with one of your top faces of your women's division in Becky Lynch, one of the top all-time faces of the women's division in Trish Stratus. This has gotten a ton of TV time. To me, this should have been blown off on SummerSlam, not on an episode of Raw.
So I don't want to get into her and Trish yet. I do. We're going to talk about Raw. So hold that thought, Ray.
All I'm going to say is I completely agree with Becky's sentiment that it ain't right. However, Triple H has a new philosophy. He explained this, I think it was with Ryan Satin, that he doesn't want to make only the pay-per-view or only the premium live event be the show where everything gets blown off. He wants to blow off storylines on regular shows. He wants the go-home episodes, especially of premium live events, excuse me, you got to use their terminology, to be just as important and basically be a part of the show instead of just a go-home build. So by that means, I could have seen it being, but then it was pushed to after the premium live event. So that kind of doesn't fit his whole spiel there either. So, I mean, I think it's a convoluted thing of like, there ain't a right, there ain't a wrong. I would have much rather seen it on the SummerSlam if it was me.
Yeah. All right. Now let's talk about this little tidbit popped up. I didn't know anything about it. And I'm very interested to see if they're going to use it, if this is real. Karrion Kross possibly getting his own stable, even though Prophet's spelled wrong. The way he's talking about his own disciples, he's not alone. Karrion Kross with his own stable. Ray, what do you think about that possibly happening? And if you could, anybody you'd think that would pair with him? Or
here's the issue. Kross has fallen flat on the main roster. It just is what it is. Do I think he has talent? Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Do I think he could be something great? Yeah. The biggest problem is the presentation of NXT Karrion Kross. The monster with short matches, explosive, everything was great. Could it evolve into something more? Yes, he's a good promo. He really is. The character's decent. It really is. The problem has been in the execution. This character is not meant to have, at this point, 30-minute matches. He also can't have 50-50 booking. This type of character can't drop a match on SmackDown just because. He needs to be blowing over people. He needs to be, he needs to be dominant in his matches. And when he does lose, it needs to either be a major blow off of a feud, or it needs to be like he's disqualified because he won't stop beating somebody or choking somebody.
Yeah.
Or, something along those lines that when a loss does come to him to give the babyface the rub, it has to kind of be protected, because this kind of character of this dark, I'm going to ruin your life, blah, blah, blah. It can't just be a 50-50 regular guy.
Yeah, who'd he be? AJ Styles the other night or something? And which I love. AJ beat him. I mean,
yeah. And I'm the biggest AJ mark there is. Yeah, I think he's fucking amazing. But like when Karrion came back, and we're like, oh, all right, they misused him. They're gonna fix it this time. He walks right into, attacks Drew, tells Roman Reigns
TikTok, yeah.
And then nothing. And then done. He's constantly picking fights and loses. Gav's right. He's picking fights and then losing. So.
And that's the thing. They booked him 50-50 with Drew because they wanted to keep Drew strong for the Castle stuff. And that ruined the character right from there, because how is he believable?
Yeah. Doc, who would you, if Kross could have someone with his faction, who would you align with him? some people are saying like Bray comes back, and that would be Cross being part of Bray's faction. But who would you
I was
think
gonna say, because if you put those two together, there has to be one head chef in the kitchen, and neither of those two could be it. So somebody that I know, LA Knight's another head chef that you can't put in that kitchen. Bobby, I see not Bobby Lashley. But as I'm looking at this, and I'm thinking of all the people in WWE right now, the roster, get some lost souls. And what I mean by that is get people who have talent that have been lost in the who've been lost in the shuffle. I would love to see. Oh man, Atticus Black beat me to it. Gacy and Schism, bring them up. Schism, excuse me, bring them up. Schism. No, but I mean, the simple fact is, bring him up. Like, hey, could you see him appear on NXT and just be like, "I have an opportunity for all of you. Please come with me." Yeah. And then they just walk away, and everybody's like, "Oh shit, what's about to happen here?" All right. I thought of that, and another one. I know this is gonna sound really crazy and stupid, but I know people are like, "What the hell? Why?" Look at Cedric Alexander and look at Shelton Benjamin for a minute. They were in the Hurt Business, then they were out of the Hurt Business. Now they're out of the Hurt Business again, and it's like these guys keep getting picked on and thrown around. Could you imagine if he just come up and was like, "Listen, I know what you guys have been up to. I feel what you're feeling. Let's do something about this." Have him take everybody that's like mid-card or just getting beat and have them form a faction where they just all come out and beat people's ass. I know it sounds a little bit like the NWO, but there's no main event criteria.
I like your
Ray,
idea,
you got
but
two names,
you're not
Ray?
there with the people.
Ray got two names.
Go ahead.
Good, Ray.
Well, here's the thing. Like, I do agree. Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin are entirely too talented to be misused the way they are.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they don't work a style that I think would fit with Karrion Kross. But here's two names that I think you're on the right track with your idea of how the stable's set up, what it is, kind of the lost soul thing. Mm-hmm. Give him Dexter Lumis.
Nice.
Oh,
I like
that.
Give
him Tommaso Ciampa.
No, I think Ciampa DIY's coming back.
Here's why.
Yeah, oh god.
Tommaso Ciampa has come back to little fanfare. Honestly, he's been toiling away now in a mid-card feud, not really doing anything. Everybody wanted to see him do DIY.
Yeah.
It hasn't happened yet. Yada, yada, yada. But what if Tommaso goes lost soul, like you said, with Karrion Kross, and we have that for 6 months, 8 months, until Johnny Gargano breaks his friend out of the trance or whatever, and Tommaso turns on Kross and Lumis. And now you have all this underlying thing because Lumis was in the way with Johnny Gargano. Karrion Kross has his set of lackeys. We get a DIY versus Lumis and Kross feud after they've dominated for 6 to 8 months and beat the shit out of everybody.
That's great. See, and Dexter
and then Kross could walk away without any.
If it ends up getting I love that. Those two, Dexter and Ciampa, are badasses. They would fit right in. Someone brought up Lashley, Ford, and Dawkins. There's been word out that there is another member about to come join them. The only clue they've given us is he's an NXT talent he's an African-American NXT talent that hasn't been on TV for a while.
Oh.
And I'm thinking Odyssey Jones. Bring in a big guy.
Odyssey Jones would be a good idea.
Be a good heater. It would make sense.
First name that came to mind is bring in a big guy.
It's Gable Stevenson. I've lost all hope.
Stevenson, yeah.
Whatever. I don't fucking care.
Everyone calls him Stevenson. I'm sure he's heard that his whole life, but there's no end. There's only one end.
Okay. Sorry.
But there's going to
Thank you, Mr. Greg. I'm sorry.
There's going to be another who? I don't even know who you're talking about. Let's get to the next slide here. I've heard of rumors about this too. First of all, we have a new United States champion, Rey Mysterio. Now, think about it. There is another Mysterio that has the North American title. I've heard possible unification.
Why?
Maybe NXT doesn't need the North American title, and they're kind of similar. North America, U.S. title. I wouldn't be totally against it, but I don't know. Do you guys think that even chance of it happening? Odyssey Jones has more skill than Top Dollar, yeah.
I think they need to keep that belt in NXT. It's getting that intercontinental title prestige in NXT. Why not go for it? Like keep it there.
And Ray getting the title as a whole, what do you think of that? I mean, a lot of people are shitting on
that. Do you want opinion or do you want booking?
Both.
Opinion, the title, I agree with Doc 100%. The North American title needs to stay in NXT. I like that they gave it to Dom, that it's kind of crossing over, getting a little promotion, cross promotion. It's a good title for Dom as his first title outside of the tag titles. And it's fine, but now they need to put somebody else over Dom to get the rub.
Ooh.
As far as booking goes, here is where Legado del Fantasma comes back.
Oh. And
here's why. Ray took the match from Santos Escobar.
Mm-hmm.
Santos Escobar is supremely fucking talented. We all know it.
Yeah.
However, he is not a babyface. He is a much better heel. He's played into the babyface thing. He's taken the back seat to Ray. Wild and Cruz are kind of taking the back seat to both of them. So here's what I do. I flip Santos immediately. I have him turn on Ray. I have a masked man jump Ray. Everybody's going to assume it's somebody else. It's Santos. And we build to those two, where he does take the title from Ray. All the while this happens, the rest of the LWO, Zelina Vega, Wild, and Crew, and sorry, what the hell? You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
They stick with Ray. They stick with LWO the whole time until the match they actually have between Escobar and Ray, where they turn and they all re-become Legado del Fantasma. Then they torture Ray for the next month as he's trying to get the belt back, trying to figure out why, whatever. And then you have two guys doing absolutely fuck all right now that have kind of teased going back to their roots in NXT. There's been a little bit about it, but you have Humberto and Alex Garza come back and back Ray up, and that's your new LWO, new members of the Latin World Order. And we have a nice little gang warfare. It brings another tag team back. It lets Legado del Fantasma, who has one of the best entrance teams, a great name, and lets Santos kind of finally bump up to what they want. What they wanted out of Escobar is a main event Latin talent. He has not been that in the LWO. He can be that if he goes heel and feuds with Ray, and Ray does the right thing for business, which Ray does.
Yeah. Ray's come out and even said, which I like, he said this U.S. title is the LWO's. So, I mean, that would be a nice way to kind of break it. It's not really, he said, it's not mine, it's the LWO's belt. So I just heard rumors about unification. I wanted people's thoughts. I kind of feel the same way. Don't mess with it. Doesn't need to be messed with. Let's go back to Raw and the two big matches that were on Raw. We talked a little bit about Becky earlier. Her and Trish, and then Zoe Bard. Zoe ends up in the back, and then now we got to wait, and it's going to be a steel cage. I don't mind. Just have a steel cage with them in the fucking first place. I'm over it. And Cody and Finn are two of my favorites. It was a good match. I don't have a problem with it. Which did you guys have any? Doc, you first. Any thoughts on either of these matches on Raw?
Cody and Finn were awesome. I had an okay time watching that one. Becky versus Trish is getting annoying. It's just getting to the point where just let it die. I don't know, when he announced that cage match, I was like, are we going to see Booker T and Chris Benoit again, best of 7?
Oh,
I don't want to.
Hey, big shout out to Grandma Daisy, a new subscriber. Appreciate that.
Grandma Daisy.
Thank you very much. Hit the thumbs up. Hope you enjoy the show. We're just talking wrestling. What about you, Ray? Would either of those matches, any comments, anything about Raw from Monday?
I agree with Doc. I've seen enough of the Lynch and Stratus stuff. It should have blown off at SummerSlam.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
The fact that it just continues to roll. I would like to see Stratus and Stark leave the Becky feud. I'd like to see Stratus stick around. I'd like to see them go for the tag titles. Zoe is raw but awesome. Zoe is raw but awesome. And I think having Trish with her, if we can have her with her for another 3, 4, 5 months, would just be great to help build her and get the character along.
I like Stark being part of it, but yeah, I'm kind of over it as well. We'll see.
As Cody and Finn go, it was a great match. They're great workers. My biggest problem is they have fucked Finn Balor.
Yeah.
So bad.
Yeah, he should have the belt Seth has, in my opinion. That's just me. I mean, hell, the 7-year thing and all that.
2 shows ago.
Yeah, I agree.
I wanted it at Money in the Bank. I wanted it at SummerSlam. He needed the validation. They didn't give it to him. And right now, all he is, he's your upper mid-card job man.
Yeah, that sucks. That sucks to even hear that, knowing what Finn can do. Let's talk about the guy who created Judgment Night, and now the rumors that he is retiring. Is it a work? I don't think this can't be his last match. You got to put his final match on a pay-per-view or PLE or something, right? I mean, is this his last match, Ray? What do you think? Where is this Edge story going?
He stated
the last one was contract or something.
He stated in an interview last time they were in Toronto that he wanted to retire in Toronto and that it would probably be the next time they were there.
Oh,
he did say that, and I think that's why all this speculation is going around that he is. And then also we saw the promo with Sheamus is the reason I'm back and found out I could be back. So, I mean, in Edge's booking mind, the catalyst to him coming back could also be the ending to him going away. But do you believe, and I'm just throwing this out there, do you believe in your heart of hearts for one fucking second that while this man can still work, that he's just going to walk away?
Someone's going to attack him.
I'm not saying this might not be his last match in WWE, but you don't think the appeal of ending it with either Christian in a tag match against the Hardys or against Christian or something is just too appealing, whether he waits out for Christian's contract to be up with AEW?
You're saying we got a better chance of Edge going to AEW than Jey Uso, like we talked about before.
So even if he takes time away again, and then like him and Christian come back once Christian's contract's up for like one match at Mania or one match at SummerSlam, and then they retire. I just can't. While he might go away for a while, I can't fathom
neither
that this is it.
Doc, is he done? Is this it?
No, absolutely not.
So if someone's gonna come in and ruin his retirement and set up a match, who would it be? Finn? Let's have Finn win finally, and Edge can lose. I don't know. You could tie the.
When it comes to Edge, like there's so many people he's fought that he's had such great rivalries with. Cena, Randy Orton. I just I don't know. I don't see him going. I'd love to see him finish it with Orton.
That I'm interested. I can't believe Edge and Sheamus never had a fight before, but I'm looking forward to that battle. It'll be good, and we'll see what happens with Edge. I mean, who knows?
Hey, if you want to play devil's advocate here, if someone is legit, like if he starts the retirement thing after the Sheamus match, and somebody's going to come down and spoil it,
Bray,
why not Karrion Kross?
There you go. There's his opportunity to do something.
Yeah. There you go.
We just talked about it.
And if anybody can really get him over and is willing to get him over,
it would be Edge.
Edge would do it.
Yeah.
Amen. All right. Whose wrestling bag is this?
That is definitely Matt Cardona's bag.
I love how he has the women's tag title still too.
Yeah, he just takes it.
He came out and said that he's like, well, we're married, so it's 50% mine.
Yeah. We have to shout out Cardona every once in a while in these streams.
Sorry.
Let's talk a little bit. We talked about some of these matches that led up to the climax and the G1, Okada and Evil. Naito and Ospreay, I saw the highlights of that match. Holy fuck. It's one of my favorite matches of the year.
I heard it was unbelievable.
From what I saw and then Naito and Okada, two legends over there in Japan, fought each other, and I thought it'd be Okada, but it ends up being Naito will get the shot against Sonata. It was. I mean, I know Andy Price in the chat's big on New Japan. I wish I could see more of it, but I think it's interesting to see people like that still. Insane was the semifinal from what I heard, from what I saw, and didn't see the final was better than the final. But I love that idea. I really hope. I wish that AEW would do something like that with a group stage and a playoff. Let's talk about this guy.
Oh Christ! Here we go.
Okay, so he did a little.
Is that
promo.
your cue to leave?
He did a little promo
left.
After the show, and he did call out Hangman because there was a Hangman sign, which he apologized in a text apparently after that. And then all these rumors about him making people leave the show. From what I heard, it was management that told like Christopher Daniels and a couple other people to leave. I don't know. People were blowing this way out of proportion, in my opinion. Ray, what your thoughts on the whole CM Punk? He's always going to beat CM Punk. But what do you think about him? Kind of, is he the Hulk Hogan of the WCW type stuff? Too much power?
Here's my opinion.
All right.
Tony Khan needs to stop this shit right now.
So you think he is doing too much and telling people to leave? Punk is.
Punk has come out flat out and said, I'm a collision guy, blah, blah, blah. It's, we've seen or at least we're hearing the rumors. Now, none of us know if this shit is true or not.
Exactly.
However, Christopher Daniels is a well-respected veteran, whether he's a friend with the Bucks and the Elite or not. He's your head of talent relations.
Yes.
So you don't tell Christopher Daniels, in my opinion, jack shit.
Mm-hmm.
Christopher Daniels is your boss.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Now, I heard the shit about Jungle Boy, where apparently he wanted to go through real glass.
Yes.
Blah, blah, blah. So for Punk to be the locker room veteran and be like, dude, no.
I agree with that.
Yeah. That I have no problem with. And I'll tell you right now that, like, it would have never even got to Punk saying something if this was WWE or NXT, because the producers of the segment or whatever would have been like, not a fucking chance. We'll do Sugar Glass, we'll do X, we'll do Y. That's not happening. So it would have never came to a locker room leader having to come be the one to say, not a chance, dude. And again, that is a Tony Khan problem in his structure of management that needs to be fixed. The Ryan Nemeth thing, I heard. Yeah. Here's what I heard about that. Nemeth put out a tweet about Punk being soft and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Punk ran into Nemeth at the show, and Punk said, if I'm soft, prove me wrong, or prove it. And Nemeth got butthurt about it, and they told him to go home. Now, to me, that's you trying to get cheap heat as Ryan Nemeth. True. And then somebody with balls saying, I'm soft, motherfucker. Test me.
No problem
with
that.
I have no fucking problem with that whatsoever.
Yeah.
Now, management in the same token, if Nemeth would have came up and bitched or whatever happened, or if Punk would have come up and said, send that Punk home. Again, this is a management problem. Management should have said, look, either you two go fucking lock yourselves in a room and beat the shit out of each other, or fucking drop it. It's cheap heat on the fucking internet.
Yeah. Yep.
It's honestly, it's the same exact thing that Punk did at the end of the show. Punk said he was trying to get cheap, jump the rail heat on Page. That he didn't really mean any of that. It was just trying to get heat or whatever. That's all Nemeth was doing. Nemeth is a lower card guy who's trying to get heat off Punk's name whenever the shit was hot. If anybody should understand that, it should be Punk.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to poke him about it a little bit? Sure, I don't have a problem with that. Rib him up a little bit. Tell him to, but then drop it and let it fucking go.
Doc, your thoughts on Punk? Did he have too much power in Collision? Is he the one? Is it going to be a problem, or do you think they'll reel this in and keep rolling?
I don't know. In the beginning, I thought it was a work, to be honest with you. With Paige, I thought maybe this is where you start getting the Elite versus CM FTR. This is where you start this feud. And then Wembley, I think Wembley, you're going to see something that I'm going to keep it to myself.
Okay. We're going to talk about the all-in matches that are already booked here in a little bit and preview it a little bit, right?
I do think step one before anything happens, it's not Paige and Punk. Step one of the olive branch, the two that seem the most sensible about this is Omega and Punk. And I think it needs to be Omega that comes to Collision or All Out, in Chicago.
Ooh.
And tells Punk, look, you're over here claiming you're the real world champion. You're not. You were you were suspended. The title was stripped from you. And, blah, blah, blah. And basically challenge him to not for that title.
I saved your fucking dog.
I'm going to beat you. I'm going to beat you, and you're going to put that title away because you can no longer claim that you're unbeaten. And once those two open the door, I think then we possibly get the CM-FTR thing. We're already getting, obviously, we're getting the Bucks and FTR.
Mm-hmm.
So, they're obviously having no issues working together. They're going to have to talk a shit ton leading up to the match and planning shit out and all that. And obviously they're going to get in each other's ears and yada, yada, yada. And as contentious as that relationship is between FTR and the Bucks, there's a tremendous amount of professional respect. Dax has come out and said it a bunch of times, blah, blah, blah. It's best for business. He said a bunch of times he wants to see the CM-FTR and the Elite thing. But I think the first olive branch you see to that is going to be Punk and Omega. before we see an entire thing. But I mean, ultimately, this is another management thing. TK is as much as we're going to keep them separate. Nah, get all 6 of them in a room, lock the fucking door. Yeah. We're not leaving here until everybody shakes hands and it's cool.
That match is huge money, too, if they can do it. They have to get it sooner or later. Now, Doc, this is your cup of tea here. I know you want to speak on this. We're going to get to the rest of Dynamite, but let's talk about the Texas Chainsaw Massacre death match. A lot of people are comparing it to the zombie match at WWE. I don't compare, but you're the horror guy. Let me hear, what did you think? And break it down for us, Doc. That's what we need.
Okay, let's start from the beginning of the matchup. First and foremost, let everybody know I'm a huge horror movie fan. Both these guys can back me up on that one. My legs are covered in horror movie tattoos. One of my my favorite horror movie of all time is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, 1978, of course. And that is what the video game that they were sponsoring is based on. Did I like the match as a wrestling match? No. Did I like the match as a horror fan of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre? Hell yes. And I'll tell you why. If you notice in the beginning, Jeff Hardy wanders to the backstage and he sees a sliding door with everything on it. That is exactly a replica of what happened in 1978 when he first saw Leatherface. The guy opens up the door, trips, and then Leatherface whacks him with the hammer. Everybody keep that scene in your mind with him getting whacked with the hammer. Number 2, Karen Jarrett comes out with Jeff Jarrett wearing a white, I think it was a white wife beater. Blood was dumped all over her, and she flipped her hair back and started screaming horror. That is a tribute to the last victim, who actually survived at the end of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, also known as Sally Hardesty. Sally Hardesty goes down in history as one of the ones that got away. So what I really loved about the fact is she actually was screaming in horror, and the blood was all over. Jeff got it too. Why not? Fuck it. And then, as you can see, they started using weapons, and then the match started getting a little hokey. But there were so many little shout outs to the movie in this match that, as a Texas Chainsaw Massacre fan, I was like, this is kind of cool. When Leatherface come out, yes, we had our WCW RoboCop moment. Even my son, who is who actually wants his prime right now. Thank you, Logan. You got
fucking prime.
A couple more bucks in your pocket there, you douche.
I heard people saying it was Tony Khan in the Leatherface mask. That would have been hilarious.
I would have been awesome. But the thing was, when he come out, was everybody expecting the Bass to come off and be a wrestler? Yes. Did they pay homage to the end of the 1978 movie where Leatherface is chasing Sally Hardesty, who's the only one that got out of the house? Yes. Karen did an okay job as Sally Hardesty and ran away. I love Jeff's paint. He had the Leatherface paint going. I thought that was really cool. And at the end, what was the finish of the match, if everybody remembers? Oh, yes. Jay Lethal with the hammer, knocking Jeff Hardy out. 1, 2, 3, paying homage to Leatherface's first victim. When the guy goes in through the sliding door, trips, and one time, dude starts, and then all Leatherface knows, being grown up in a slaughterhouse environment, is, well, if it's shaking, it's still alive. Thump, door slams, and I thought that was awesome. I think Jeff Hardy was actually supposed to open that one part, and then here come Jeff. So what I'm saying to you guys is, was it a good match? Absolutely not. Was it the drizzling shits? Of course. To quote the great Luke Hickson, a.k.a. Adam Montgomery, yes, it was the drizzling shits. However, just the homage to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I dug that. I dug that part. If that makes any sense to anybody, fine. But me being a huge horror fan, I pointed out all the cues. I really think that Tony or whoever did produce this match did their homework about the movie. Okay. And Grant, I'm sorry.
That's a good point. I didn't know any of that stuff. And it is, to me, it is what it is. It was a gimmick match. And I didn't know any of that stuff. That changes the light of it a lot. And I think, the video game that they're promoting, and
which is available at 9:00 tonight for anybody that has pre-ordered it or has it on Game Pass. Go ahead.
The other thing I definitely want to mention is over $100,000 went to the Maui victims because of this type of match and all the donations and stuff. So it was for a good cause. It's a little comic relief. It was a promotion for something else. I have no problem with it. Just like Doc said, it's not going to be the best match in the world. Someone named Jeff was going to win. We know that. And I mean, it is what it was. It was, and now I got a little more respect for it because of those throwbacks. I was watching a watch along and they had the stuff on the wall and they were like, what the fuck is that? Why wouldn't they do anything with anything? It's a throwback to exactly the movie. What was your take on it, Ray?
Kiss demon dog shit.
Kiss demon. Yeah, there you go.
Listen, I agree with Doc. I'm a huge horror movie buff myself. Texas Chainsaw Massacre definitely is in my top 5. I didn't catch as many of the throwbacks as Doc did. No. However, like, we had a Hardy and a Jarrett in a street fight. You knew it was going to be a clusterfuck. Yeah. You knew it was going to be Brother Zay and Matt and Ethan Page and Satnam Singh and Sanjay Dutt. Could it have been produced a little better? Sure. Could it have been a little less shameless? Sure. The only real issue I had with it in general is fucking Leatherface coming out swinging a chainsaw. Like,
yeah, it's a little hokey. I think they just wanted to do what Doc said, the final chase of the woman.
If I was going to do anything, I would have had Satnam Singh come out dressed like Texas Chainsaw Massacre and then rip the mask off. And then it wouldn't have been as bad, at least. It would have made a little more sense. For the fact that you had fucking person non grata, you have no idea who the fuck it is.
Yeah, someone got
a chainsaw like Karen Jarrett. While, yes, if that was a horror movie, absolutely. But this is professional fucking wrestling.
Monster, yes, I agree. By the way, the belt was badass too. I said, "Oh, I want."
Oh, they were shitting all over the belt. Another belt in AEW.
No, it's not another belt. It was just for that match. And by the way, guess how much AEW received for doing this? For the sponsors, $100,000, which all the money was donated. I know, but I'm just saying it again one more time to reiterate.
It needs to be reiterated because that's huge. That's all right. Texas Chainsaw. Let's
talk about. I agree. I agree 100% with you. But did she do it okay? Sally Hardesty impression?
Oh, you're supposed to hate her. You're supposed to hate her.
Yeah, exactly.
To me, what would have been better?
Go ahead. You're gonna say something with penetration, aren't you?
No.
Oh, okay. Damn, I thought I knew you. What they should have
done is they should have said, "Look, Texas Chainsaw Massacre gave us $100,000 to the Maui victims to produce the segment. Here's the Hardy compound." And do the whole fucking thing at the Hardy compound with the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Then you could have went as hokey as you fucking wanted.
Yeah. I wouldn't have minded.
It would have been done as a segment at the Hardy compound where, like, you're expecting ridiculousness. I would have been fine with it. But it being in the arena and shit, it was kind of like, really?
Speaking of hokey and speaking of comedy, speaking of fun, I'm going to die on this mountain right now. I said it earlier. I'll say it again. Right now, MJF and Adam Cole are more entertaining to me than the Bloodline. Hashtag better than the Bloodline right now.
You're starting this hashtag.
Not over. Hashtag better than the Bloodline. Just to piss people off. Now, I said it earlier. Bloodline story is phenomenal. I want it to be better. I'm not knocking it. This story got me. This story makes me laugh every week. It makes me wonder what's going to happen. I still think it's Cole turning on MJF. People were shitting on, why are they going to have a match in the pre-show? Because it's going to set up the main event, you fucking moron.
Yeah, that's when the turn happens.
Yes. But who's going to turn, Ray? Is it MJF on Cole or Cole?
I agree with you. It's Cole.
Because that's what we're not expecting. And then the heat for that main event will turn up. It makes sense. It makes wrestle sense to me. But a lot of people are like, why did they have him fight twice? Just watch and find out.
If I was booking, I would have them win the titles.
I wouldn't mind that at all.
Now, I hate to do it to Aussie Open, but I don't really give a shit. I'd have them win the titles. And while they're standing there, center of the ring, hoisting the titles, I have Cole just swing for the fences and take MJF's head off with the belt.
I love it. Outback Steakhouse, trampoline
not
park.
A word after that. Not a word after that. MJF is back in the back thing. He's fucking, defeated because not only is he bleeding from the belt shot, they're wrapping his head, but he lost his best friend. And you have a full double turn, hardcore, before that main event, Cole comes out to a chorus of boos because everybody's favorite gimmick is ruined. And MJF comes out as a mega fucking baby face because he's not going to not wrestle the match. Like, obviously you go into that, you know, we recommend you don't wrestle the match tonight, blah, blah, blah. But MJF wants his revenge. And it would create so much intrigue for that main event.
Doc, if I'd have told you, and this just proves how great MJF really is. At the beginning of this year, MJF would be this over as a face already. Would you have believed it?
But people loved him when he was a heel too.
Yeah,
they're making him.
It's great, I think, Doc.
I think you.
Is it better than the Bloodline? It's better than the Bloodline. Say it right now.
Jesus Christ, you're obsessed. What I'm trying to say is this. The simple fact is, I feel that if Adam Cole does do the turn, it's the right thing to do because they could propel MJF into the love him, hate him kind of role. You know what I mean? What can happen? So we'll see what happens. I mean, I'm excited. I'm enjoying this storyline as much as I'm enjoying the Bloodline one.
There you go. There you go. That's where I'm at too. I'm
happy with
I
both.
just know saying shit like that will dig into people's nards. And that's what
don't say the word nards right now. Oh God, Preston Everest.
Sorry, bud.
Oh,
sorry, bud. I won't
nards.
The segments have been so much fun, and these two are great wrestlers. What about this when they were yelling in the back with Tony was screaming?
Oh my God, I couldn't stop laughing at this.
I kept thinking, why don't Tony do that to like Punk and everybody else if he got that in?
I think that was the hee hee ha ha about it. It was behind closed doors. He was losing his mind, and then when he opens the door and you see him, he's like, "Oh, hey guys, yeah, great job." Blah blah blah. You know what I mean? Like insinuating that behind closed doors, Tony's really a boss and not, you know, not a kiss ass like we all know he is. But no, I agree with you, man. I love the segment. The kangaroo kick was fucking hilarious.
Double clothesline is over.
Yeah,
it's entertainment. As much as WAB is the sports entertainment, I want entertainment in my wrestling everywhere, anywhere. I don't want it the whole show, a bunch of hokey shit. But this, I mean, like I said, these are two of the best wrestlers in the world too, and they're pulling off something that when it first started, I thought they would just be a tag in that tournament and then have a fight because of it, and that's it. This is great stuff for me. I'm sorry, I love it. Let's talk about someone that I love, but something that makes me want to fucking throw up that she does. Paige was awesome. Saraya, you're beautiful. You're not as good as you used to be, but why the fuck would you put mayo on a pizza?
Oh, really?
She likes mayo on her pizza.
Oh, hell no. No. No.
You also like Brad Maddox.
Mayo on Brad.
Nah, come on. Let it go, man. She's done with that.
There is a threesome on the screen, so she's used to those too.
Not cool.
Mayo on a pizza. I mean, I don't mind the pineapple thing that people get pissed off about, but mayo. Ugh. All right.
That's disgusting.
Yeah,
that's disgusting, but she's gorgeous.
She's fucking
she's allowed to do it.
We're going to talk about her match. I think she walks out.
Better than pineapple.
We'll get there. We'll get there. David Arquette, Lana, and Summer Rae were backstage at AEW. I don't make much about this. I know Lana's married to one of the guys on the roster.
Lana, I get, but the other two, no.
Ray, do you think there's anything to this, or they just visiting friends backstage or hanging out? They're wrestling people.
David Arquette was just on Tacoma FD, which is a True Networks, True TV show, which is in the Warner Brother Discovery thing.
There you go.
So I'm pretty sure he just had tickets or visited the show.
It's a former world champion, man. Come on.
What's funny, actually, is that same show that he was on, the same episode, Dexter Loomis, Sam Shepard, or Sam, whatever the hell he was on the same episode as well. Yeah, Sam Shaw.
Yeah, I loved him as that character. I really hope they bring him back too. All right, that's not really news. I just thought it was funny that people were talking about all this and shit.
Summer Rae has stated that she wants to come back, but I don't know that anybody wants her back.
So let's see. We talked about MJF and Adam Cole. Britt won like we all pretty much thought. Kenny Omega booked his match, we'll talk about here in a minute. We talked about the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Orange Cassidy and Wheeler blew it off like they always do in the beginning of the show. Let's talk about Chris Jericho. I said, was he going to accept it? I thought for sure he was going to say no. Then he said yes. It was a nice little double, triple swerve. Doc, what do you think about Jericho and the setup with that little promo?
It just showed how much of a dickbag Von Callis is. And the simple fact is, Jericho's like, yeah, sure, buddy. Let's do it. Let's try it. You know, like, what the hell? I could go for the AEW belt again. Blah, blah, blah. You go off, and then there's that picture. There's that one thing that screwed the pooch.
Funny.
And then here comes Will Ospreay. My God,
I Ospreay.
Cannot wait to see Jericho and Ospreay. That's all I'm gonna say.
Now, some people were saying, I mean, what we just talked about the Naito and Ospreay match that could be one of the match of the year candidates and stuff. Mm-hmm. Some people are saying you're wasting Ospreay by having him fight Jericho. I kind of disagree. Jericho still got it. He's old. They're saying he's old. He can't go. But this is a match that was supposed to happen a couple years ago and never happened. So I don't have a problem with that. Ray, do you have any thoughts on the Jericho segment with Callis and that and the double, triple swerve and leading to that match with Ospreay?
I mean, the booking me has different ideas of what I would have done. They got from point A to point B. I would have much rather seen this happen if it was going to happen like 3 weeks ago. You know what I mean? Like it's so kind of rushed now. And the biggest problem you have with this is there's so many storylines now intertwining with Don Callis and with the Elite and with this, that like some of the matches that you would think, like in the setup that they did last night, that would lead me to believe we're going to see Ospreay and Takeshita versus Sammy and Chris. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. True. I see where you mean. And a lot of people I've seen, there's a lot of skepticism saying, I think Tony should have been booking this beginning of August. We should have got all these matches, not till now. But before we get to the all-in matches that are already booked, and we'll get into it more.
As far as Jericho and Ospreay, though, they're going to put on a good match. Yeah, Jericho isn't what he used to be, but he's still an amazing worker. Okay, and psychology-wise, he's head and toes above almost everybody else in ring psychology.
I see my man Sting and Jericho. I still love him. I don't care how old they are.
Yeah, can he keep up with Ospreay physically? Hell no.
No.
But who the hell can, really, other than Kenny?
Yeah, but Ospreay will be able to sell this like a limo. You know what I mean? He got this.
Plus, he's got to get the win. Here we go. So this is what we got so far. For All In, we know the MJF and Adam Cole, FTR and the Bucks Golden. They just finished it. Now Omega's interview ended up with him, Ibushi and Hangman versus the Golden Elite. You got the Ospreay Jericho, you got Sting and Darby. That's a casket match. You got the tag match, and you got the Stadium Stampede in Wembley. Holy fuck, I'm down for that. I don't know who the two other guys would be. It's interesting, but Ray,
the three other guys.
Oh yeah, I can't see the other one. 3 others. So Ray, right now the card. I know a lot of people are saying, like I said, they should have been booked earlier, but I think it's shaping up. What match are you looking forward to the most? I guess because we're going to cover them all next week before the show a lot in depth.
I mean, I'm evenly between FTR and the Bucks and Cole and MJF. FTR and the Bucks, we know are going to tear the house down.
Hell yeah.
Cole and MJF is going to be great. I can't wait for it. And honestly, the Golden Elite versus the Bullet Club Gold is going to be a great match just because of who all's in it. I mean, it's all going to be good. Sting and Darby, that's more just if you look at this, it's what they want to do to sell that last bit of tickets. You have your biggest star power in there. We're going to have Punk and Samoa Joe. So you're getting Punk on the card. We're going to have Sting on the card. We're going to have Jericho on the card. We're going to have all these titles on the card, obviously. They're trying to put their best forward. So I expect on Collision there to be, them to, verify the Punk and Samoa Joe match after the end of last week. And I mean, that's probably your card because I mean, that's
we're going to end up with 15 or 16 matches. This is Tony Khan. I mean, I only need 1 or 2 more. I think they get like a battle royal in there, so you can get like the Brian Cages and the Wardlows and stuff. Let's talk about Wardlow real quick. Are they wasting him? Where is he?
Well, here's the problem.
Okay.
If you remember, whenever they did the Will Hobbs thing, with him breaking into his car, that was just to cover up for the fact that he didn't have gear because he legit had his car broken. In doing that, his ID, social security card, birth certificate, passport is all gone. They were all stolen. He can't travel.
Shit.
He couldn't go to Canada.
Okay.
So they had to take the belt off of him and write him off because he couldn't go to Canada.
Wow.
And now the problem you have is, do you bring him back? Like, yeah, you bring him back, but you're in the build for All In right now. So you were in Canada till last week.
True. I didn't think of that.
So do I expect him to be back soon? Yes. Is there heat? No. It's legit. From what I've seen, he got his shit stolen and couldn't go over the border.
Yeah, there's just so many people saying, where's Wardlow? They're misusing him. He's going to WWE. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. I didn't know that. I knew about the break-in, but I didn't realize that
all of his personal information was stolen.
Makes sense. So like I said, we will get in depth on all these matches and the whatever more they book next week. I'm pumped about this show. I really am. I think they need to pull out all the stops. You got over 80,000. It's closing out the summer, and I'm pumped for it. I'm really excited for it. I think it's going to be a fun show, and that brings us to the end of the day. I do like the idea of Chris Hero coming out from the back and being part of the BBC for that match.
That would be pretty badass.
Ray, at the end of the day, my friend.
I saw David Finlay and possibly more Bullet Club guys coming.
I'll be 50 next week.
At the end of the day, I too am very excited about All In. I think it's going to be a spectacle. The only thing that sucks for me is that it's a noon start time.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about the time difference.
Yeah, because it's airing live from the UK, it's going to be at noon. So I hope you ain't got a hockey game that day, Bubba.
Bubba, get something even worse than that. It's my anniversary.
Football draft. I have a fucking fantasy football draft.
Well, it's the day after Allie's party, so.
Oh, and I was
I'm coming before RWA to Allie's party.
I'm going to miss the fucking show.
I almost came into the podcast from your house. I passed your house at like 7:48 or something like that.
Oh, boy.
I was just going to pop in and pull a double, but yeah, at the end of the day, man, I'm excited about All In. I'm excited about what's going to happen. I really hope they don't drop the ball on it. But as of right now, like we gave Triple H so much credit for the booking that he's done, but I feel like we're starting to hit a lull with that. And I really hope that everybody, not just Triple H needs to find his home booking again a little bit, and Tony Khan needs to fucking grow a set of balls or hire a manager that has some balls. To run that roster. That's all that needs to happen for wrestling. 100%. Fantastic. Otherwise, it's great, but it could be fantastic.
Doc, at the end of the day, my friend.
At the end of the day, it's like this. We have a lot of exciting things coming up for professional wrestling, especially in the AEW market. 2 pay-per-views back to back, basically, right? Am I hearing this right?
I guess.
What?
So next
Wembley, and then the next weekend isn't the next weekend Chicago, or no?
All Out should just be on Collision. They should just have it free on TV. I don't want to pay for 2 pay-per-views in a row. I really thought they would have had
a lot of money
by now.
I
thought they would have tied them together. $60 for both, maybe 70.
But hey, wrestling's wrestling. Love it, hate it. It's always going to be here. It's never going to go anywhere. So. I'm going to dedicate this part to William Kenna. What you going to do, brother, when professional wrestling runs wild on you?
For your boy Blaze McCoy, at the end of the day, I will have an LTDE Fed show coming up right after this. I will be 50 next week as I celebrate my birthday next Tuesday. And MJF and Adam Cole are better than a fucking bloodline. Better than the bloodline, baby.
Oh, shit.
Way better than the bloodline. We're out of here.
So I totally was farting the whole show. I have this hole in my underwear, and it's making this weird reverb every time I let one rip.
Better than the bloodline.
I still can't believe you enjoyed the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. You just heard the shit out of your ass. That was the worst fucking shit ever.
I love the homage that they played. I didn't say I like the match. Obviously, if you would just do me a favor and clean the shit out of your ears, you would have heard that.
The Big Show fight at China buffet.
Well, I mean, that would be like SD Jones versus Bundy at WrestleMania. Record time.
They could have brought New Jack back from the grave and had his first match.
Oh, that would have been great.
It's the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. He could have just kept stabbing him in the head.
All right, people, we'll see you next week. We're going to get all in next week.
Fuck you.
I'm an old.
Fuck you.
Peace. We out of here.
I'm still farting. I can't stop.
Where's the ketchup bottle? I always know it's about done when you see Doc and his fucking ketchup bottle.
Hey, ketchup's delicious. It doesn't cause the pain that I'm going through right now.
What about mayonnaise instead?
Only on a Philly steak and cheese.
Fuck you, JJ Rumham.
Oh, don't start, because then he'll get mad.
Why does Doc's ass smell like JJ Runham's breath?
Oh.
Ketchup.
Wait, here's the all about me section of the credits. Hold on. 1, 2, 3.
Press the hammer and tell your mom.
Ketchup.